Assalamu alaikum students, I'm your teacher Tahira Yasmin and we are studying the first year chemistry Karachi board. We are studying chapter number 2 of our syllabus, which is three states of matter: the solid, liquid and gaseous state. We have already discussed the solid and liquid and we are studying gases these days. In gases we have to study Charles' law today. Charles' law was given by a scientist, Charles. In this law, he gave a relationship between the volume and the temperature. The law is about the gases. In this law, he stated that volume of a given mass of gas is directly proportional to its temperature when we are taking the pressure and number of moles of the gas as a constant. In his law, he said that when we are increasing the volume, then the temperature of the gas is also increased. And when we are decreasing the volume, the temperature of the gas is also decreased. When we are saying that they are having a direct relationship, it means they are directly affecting each other. So when we increase the volume, temperature will increase, and when we are decreasing the volume, the temperature will be decreased. But we have to make the constant, that is pressure and number of moles. The values of pressure and number of moles must be taken as a constant. Mathematically, the Charles law can be written as volume of a given mass of gas is directly proportional to temperature, where volume is represented by V and temperature is represented by T. When we are removing the sign of proportionality, then we have to add a constant K. The equation become volume is equals to constant into temperature. When we are taking the constant value on one side, then it become equal to the ratio of the volume to the temperature. So this is a simplified form of the equation, which is volume divided by temperature is equals to constant. Charles law can be explained with the help of a gas which is taken in a piston. The container is attached with a piston and the piston is a frictionless movable piston. The container is a closed system because the gas molecules could escape from the open container. It is attached outside with a thermometer in order to study the changes in the temperature. The gas molecules are trapped inside the container in order to study the relationship between the volume and temperature of the gas molecules. The volume of the gas container initially is taken as volume 1, which is the initial state of the volume and represented by V1. The temperature of the system, whatever is the temperature, is taken as T1 and is considered as the initial temperature of the system. Whereas the pressure and number of moles of the gas are kept constant. When we are providing a heat from outside by heating the gas container, then what happens? The temperature of the system changes to T2, which is the final state of the temperature due to the absorption of some amount of heat energy by the gas molecules. The energy of the gas molecule changes from E1 to E2. And when the energy of the gas molecules increases, then the gas molecules move more rapidly than they were moving before. And when they are moving, they are striking in all over the surfaces. They are striking to the container, they are striking to the all sides of the container. But when they are strike to the piston, then the piston will move upward. When piston is moving upward, then the volume of gas is expand as a result of the absorption of heat energy in the form of temperature. The volume of the system increased to V2, which is the final state of the system. As we can see, the initial volume was smaller as compared to the final volume, which is greater. And it happens due to the increase in temperature. So when we increase the temperature, the volume is also increased. And initially, when we have low temperature, the volume is also smaller. So if we write the mathematical expression for the initial and final state of the system, then we can say that if this is the initial state of the system, If this is the initial state of the system and this is the final state of the system, if this is the final state of the system, then mathematical expression of the charge law could be written as, for initial state, it is volume 1, which is the initial volume is directly proportional to the initial temperature. And when we replace the sign of proportionality, then we have to take a constant and an equal to sign. And if we are rearranging the equation in order to obtain the value of constant, then we got a ratio of the initial volume to the initial temperature. The same happened to the final state of the system, that the final volume is directly proportional to final temperature. And when we are removing the sign of proportionality, then we have to add a constant. Similarly, then the value of K will become the ratio of the final volume divided to the final temperature. Now in this equation, as we can see that both sides of the equation are similar, so we can compare the equation, and after the comparing, we got a new equation, which is the initial state becomes equal to the final state. That is, the ratio of the initial volume to the initial temperature is equal to the final volume to the final temperature. This is the equation which is used in order to solve different numerical problems. This equation is used to solve different numerical problems. If we look at the graphical representation of the law, then we can see that graphical representation is done by plotting a graph between the volume and the temperature, where temperature is taken on x-axis and volume is taken on y-axis. This is the x-axis. Temperature in degree centigrade is plotted on x-axis, whereas the volume is plotted on y-axis, where volume is plotted on y-axis. When a graph was plotted between volume and temperature, then a straight line was observed because volume and temperature are having that direct relation. Due to the direct relation, a straight line was observed. But one thing more is observed in this graph, which is that when the volume is zero, when the temperature is zero, the volume of the gas is not equal to zero, but is other than zero. From this graph, we obtain that when the temperature is 0 degrees centigrade, the volume of the gas is not zero. In order to find the zero volume of the gas, that when the volume of gas is zero, what is the temperature when the volume of gas is zero, then the graph is extrapolated to the other side of the axis, that is the negative x-axis, and it was observed that at minus 273.16 degrees centigrade, the volume of the gas was zero, which is a very, very, very low temperature. At that temperature, the volume of gas was considered to be zero. So the temperature, which is minus 273.16 degrees centigrade, is called absolute Kelvin, and on the basis of which a new scale of temperature is created, which is called the Kelvin scale. And at this temperature, the volume of gas is considered to be zero. Therefore, this temperature is called the absolute Kelvin. Absolute Kelvin can be defined as the temperature in degree centigrade where the volume of gas is zero is called absolute Kelvin. If we move toward the numerical problem, then we are given a question. The question says that a child's balloon has a volume 3.880 decimeter cube when the temperature is 35 degrees centigrade. In this statement, we are given two values. One is temperature and the other is volume. The volume is 3.80 decimeter cube and the temperature is 35 degrees centigrade. And then they are saying that what is the volume if balloon is put into refrigerator and cooled to 5 degrees centigrade. Now what are they saying? They are saying that what is the volume means we have to find out the volume. Means we have to find out the volume. What is, we have to find out the volume. If the balloon is put in refrigerator and cooled to 5 degrees centigrade, now we are given another temperature. Now this temperature is after the reaction or after the change of the state. So this temperature will be considered the final temperature or the T2. Assume that the pressure inside the balloon is equal to atmospheric pressure at all time. It means pressure is kept constant throughout the process. Now, what we have to do, first of all, we have to make a data from the given question. The data could be made as what is the volume given initially is volume V1, which is 3.80 decimeter cube, which is given in the equation. We are given the volume, which is the initial volume, which is 3.80 decimeter cube. Then we are given the temperature along with the volume. The temperature is the initial temperature and it is given in degrees centigrade. So first of all, we have to convert it into Kelvin. Here is the temperature given in the question. Whenever we have a temperature in degrees centigrade, then we always have to convert into Kelvin. In order to convert the temperature in degrees centigrade into Kelvin, we have to add 273 into the value of the degree centigrade. Then we got a new value in a Kelvin scale. So when we are adding 273 to 235 degrees centigrade, then it become equal to 308 Kelvin. So the temperature, the initial temperature is T1, which is equal to 308 Kelvin. Then we are asked to find out the volume when the temperature is equal to 5 degrees centigrade. So we have to find out the volume after the change, whereas the temperature after the change is 5 degrees centigrade. Again, we are given a temperature in the degree centigrade and we have to convert it into Kelvin. Therefore, we will add 273 to 5 degrees centigrade and it becomes 278 Kelvin. Now we got all three values, and with the help of these three values, we can calculate the fourth value, which is the final volume. When we are moving toward the solution, first of all, we have to take the equation. The equation of the Charles law is the initial volume divided by initial temperature is equals to final volume divided by the final temperature. Now we got the initial volume, we got the initial temperature, this is the initial volume, this is the initial temperature, and this is the final temperature. If we rearrange the equation and put the values of the initial volume, initial temperature, and final temperature in this equation, then we can simplify the equation to get the final volume. When we are putting the value of volume V1 is 3.80 decimeter cube, the volume is 3.80 decimeter cube, the temperature is 308 Kelvin, and the temperature 2 is 278 Kelvin. And when we rearrange the equation, then we got a new equation where 3.80 is multiplied by 278. This value, when it comes here, it will be multiplied by 3.80 and divided by 308. So when we simplify the equation, we got the answer, which is the volume V2, which is the final volume of the system, which is and become equal to 3.42 decimeter cube. When the initial volume was given in a unit of decimeter cube, so the final volume is also given in a unit of decimeter cube. In our question, we were asked to find out the volume, which we have calculated. So we have solved the question and we have calculated the volume of the state when the temperature is changed to 5 degrees centigrade from 35 degrees centigrade. So whenever we are given any question according to the which is following the Charles law, then we have to put the values in the equation, and after rearranging the equation according to the situation of the question, we will get the required volume, we will get the required value. For example, if we have to calculate V1 and we are given the other values, that is we are given V2, we are given temperature T2, and we are given T1, then by rearranging the values according to the situation of the question, we can get any value from this equation. It is all about the Charles law. We have studied the statement, the introduction, the graphical representation, the explanation, and the numerical problem related to the Jaws law. I hope it is helpful for all of you. Allah Hafiz to all of you, and good luck.